Empire Brands is a house of brands. We have our most known brand, which is Hemper, which started off as a subscription box and an online head shop. Our goal with the subscription box was to give our customers a new glass piece every month. From there, we got into the manufacturing game under Hard Supply, where we're producing roughly 100 million pre-roll cones a month. When I came on board, our operations were based out of New York. We had a whole fulfillment center there being run by one of the partners' family members. When we were trying to get things done, we had no real transparency what was going on. We were trying to figure out, did we have enough inventory? Was inventory being shipped out in time? How many boxes were being produced? We had no KPIs or metrics to try to figure out how to scale the business and understand how we were receiving anything. The software they were using didn't have good batching, didn't have good routing, no order splits. They didn't really care to try to understand how our subscription boxes needed to be packed. They didn't care how those needed to be produced, shipping label, print management, none of it. I knew I needed to find a software that was very flexible, very agile. I came across Fulfil, did an onboarding call. We're getting closer to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We started printing out labels. The batching process was great. The support that we had during our onboarding time was amazing.
When I moved to the wholesale fulfillment coordinator, the position was a team of about 6 people that were in charge of operating the entirety of Fulfil, while all of the associates were handling a paper-based system, marking things with a highlighter, marking things with pens.
I've dealt with other picking systems. You would have to put the cart in the middle and you would just be going around in circles and circles, which it just takes more time. The way Fulfil has it set up is that when it comes in, we scan the location, it throws you in alphabetical order. So when we're picking, it won't throw you across the whole warehouse. We did not have those batching systems anywhere else. It makes all the orders come in really, really organized.
Over the course of about 6 months, we brought the wholesale department to 2 members fully on computers, roughly 1 or 2 pickers that were using the digital guns. My team at the time went from finishing 10 to 15 orders in a day to about 40 or 50.
We've been able to streamline the process with Fulfil from a sales order being developed to purchase request being done and a draft PO being generated within a matter of seconds. They were spending about 12 hours per transaction to run through that whole process. Now that process gets done with less than 15 minutes worth of work.
We have a promise with our customers to get every order out between 24 hours or 48 hours, and we wouldn't be able to do that without Fulfil.
Orders once upon a time would take anywhere between like a week to 2 weeks, ended up being like 3 days at most when it was like 1,200 items.
When we first got onboarded and they built all the return stuff, and we've streamlined that process from days lagging behind on dealing with returns to probably within 30 minutes a day. We've been able to develop data warehousing reports using all the data warehouse modules, reports that literally tell us how much inventory to reorder. We use the forecasting modules in Fulfil, and they've been able to develop to understand our industry even better. It's allowed us to have better inventory controls on our subscription boxes. So instead of us sitting there and building 1,000 subscription boxes or 5,000 or 20,000 in one day, we're developing and producing them based on the actual orders that have come through. I have it pushing into Google Sheets for a lot of our reports that we share with a lot of our customers to let them know how much stock they have of their own product here or how much stock we have of our own product. And that's been one of the things that allow us to scale a lot quicker now with our pre-roll co-manufacturing is just that aspect.
This summer we used Fulfil's API integrations into a Google Sheet document to see how we're doing on inventory, how we're doing on sales, how we're doing with like stock intervals. We've been able to use the information from Fulfil cross APIs like Slack and ClickUp to look at certain purchase orders or look at certain inventory movements.
Now that there's a native Slack integration, it's allowed us to have more real-time information passed via Slack. Now, when an order is processed, instead of finance having to wait for a notification, they're being notified directly in Slack like, hey, this order was processed, go ahead and book revenue right now. That's one of the features we're probably gonna use a lot more going into the year. Speed to market's super important for us. The production module is gonna allow us to have full-on transparency on what's being developed and produced and how we can actually further the business, right? How we can invest more time, how we can speed things up. We're using the drop shipment function within Fulfil to create a purchase request. That purchase request turns into a draft purchase order. Then we go to the drop shipment, fulfill it. I'm saving hours and days worth of time to take on more business. Fulfil has seen plenty of transactions, plenty of different businesses, different sizes, different models. They've been able to service us in every way possible.